Have you ever been in a room and felt like the dumbest person there with no value to add? Well, what if I told you there is a process to becoming the smartest person in the room, and it's much easier than you might think? But before we learn how, there's a few things we need to get out the way. The measure of intelligence is based on your IQ, but the truth is, no one has ever asked you at a dinner party, "Hello there, what's your IQ?" Matter of fact, you probably don't know the answer yourself. So being smart or intelligent is based on perception, and not necessarily on your brain power or IQ. And that's why those with strong academic backgrounds like Harvard or Oxford grads are automatically perceived as smart people, even if they added zero value at the dinner party. Similarly, certain professions such as doctors, investment bankers, or aerospace engineers are generally considered to be smart. They just have to mention what they do for a living and people will view them as one of the smartest in the room, even if that's not entirely true. But for the vast majority of us who don't fall into this 0.001% bracket, we have to showcase our intelligence in other ways, because we don't have these prestige crutches to fall back on. So how do we become the smartest person in the room? Well, I'm glad you asked, because it only takes 5 steps. Step 1, pick your area of interest, but with intention. You might be extremely knowledgeable on football and be able to recall all the World Cup winners, but the problem is, you won't be considered smart. Why? Well, because it's football. If, however, your topic of interest was economics, politics, AI, or something similar, then things begin to change very quickly. And this is why you should pick your area intentionally if you care about being the smartest person in the room. Step 2, become a master, not a jack. You might now think, okay, in that case, I'll learn several different topics, and that would make me appear even smarter. But with that approach, you'll end up becoming a jack of all trades and a master at none. And mastery in one topic is what will give you the edge against all the jacks in the room. Step 3, becoming a master. It's said that it takes 10,000 hours to achieve mastery, so at 10 hours a week, it would take you 20 years. Now that's a very long time, and I'm guessing you don't want to be waiting 20 years to come across more smart. So instead, use the 80-20 rule and aim for 2,000 hours. That should be enough time to get an in-depth understanding on the topic. As the Pareto principle goes, 20% of the input will generate 80% of the output, so just focus on the 20%. Now at 10 hours a week, you'll get there in around 4 years. So you can either mindlessly scroll social media for the next 4 years, or you can pick a topic and start becoming a bit more smarter than you are today. Step 4, acquiring the knowledge. Okay, you've picked your topic, hopefully not football, and you've decided to devote at least 2,000 hours. So how do we go about acquiring the knowledge? Well, this is the easy part. Firstly, pick the most popular books in that genre and you will get majority of the knowledge. For example, if you read the book Sapiens, people will think you're a history scholar. Secondly, go on your social media and start following people in that field. This way you don't have to create additional time in the week. Just continue using social media, but instead of watching people dance, you'll start consuming information related to that field. And the algorithm will feed you even more content and similar creators. Thirdly, pretty much every topic you can think of has a related podcast. Skip to the parts which will add the most value. Hearing the backstory of a random person you don't know isn't optimizing for your 2,000 hours. Step 5, the knowledge drop. Okay, now that you've got the knowledge, it's time to flex it. But you don't want to come across obnoxious or Mr. Know-It-All, because that will have the opposite effect. Instead, casually drop a few comments, enough to create some curiosity. For example, the room might be talking politics, and you drop a casual comment on the economic impacts. People will think, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. Eventually, you'll be known as the economy guy, and whenever a similar topic is discussed, your opinion will hold the most value. And at that very point, you will be the smartest person in the room. And as a bonus tip, subscribe to this channel to become even smarter.